damage if it was still attached to the aircraft. I think both Richard and Miles are correct. I think this piece separated at some point in the final moments of flight and floated down by itself, because it simply doesn't show the kind of damage that it should have had it been still attached to the plane.
Richard, you want to add to that? Because just remind people what the flaperon does.
It's at the back of the plane, as you can see on that diagram. It literally flaps up and flaps down, and it has two functions. One is to help the plane in the bank rolling left or rolling right, and the second is to give it extra lift. We know, of course, the plane, well, we don't know. The best thinking is the plane ran out of fuel, and the test, of course, is how did it leave the air at that particular moment. And so the numerous studies have been done about what happens when a plane does leave the air with fuel exhaustion. The traditional view is it doesn't go straight nose down. The traditional view is it sort of glides and then goes into a bank and then spirals down. But we just don't know.
Mm-hmm. And this little, well, you never know what this little piece of debris can tell us. I don't know. Let's talk about the investigation for just a second, Miles, because you've been hearing what Evan Perez has been reporting, that investigators now think this plane was deliberately flown off course. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do believe it was deliberate, Carol, and Richard will quibble with me, but basically up to the point where they said good night, Malaysia. And all of a sudden, everything went silent. All the communication, all the radar tracking capability, instantaneously, virtually, went silent. So that supports right there some sort of catastrophic event on the aircraft, something akin to a raging fire or even an explosion. So then you see the turn to the left. That still is consistent with a crew that has a really big problem and they want to get back to land as quickly as possible. Where I diverge from those who suggest this is some sort of mechanical event only is the right turn at Penang. It's very difficult to come up with a scenario that allows for that right turn to occur if this was some sort of catastrophic event. And then further, it flies on and there's an additional left turn and about 7 hours of flight. If something catastrophic happened way back there at the left turn, how did all the rest of that happen? And that's where people say, there's a human hand involved here. I don't know who did it or why, but I do know a human being was involved in this event.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Miles O'Brien, Peter Goles, Richard Quest, thanks to all of you. I appreciate it. Still to come in the newsroom, the worldwide protest over the killing of that beloved African lion is taking a new turn. Could that dentist be extradited to Zimbabwe? It's looking more likely this morning.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthy